And we welcome you to the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. I am Vinny from VW Productions, and we have another NBA2K26 presents another exciting edition of the 2025-2026 NBA season playthrough here. We have a Southwest Division battle featuring the Houston Rockets at 13-7 against the Dallas Mavericks at 11-13 on the season. And the Rockets have been playing a lot better basketball since we first saw them. First saw them in the season. As we look at the starting lineups for the Rockets, at the guards we have Aaron Holiday, Amen Thompson. At the forwards, Kevin Durant and Jabari Smith Jr. And in the center, Alperen Sengun. For the Mavericks, at guards we have D'Angelo Russell and Klay Thompson. At the forwards we have Cooper Flagg and Anthony Davis as the Mavericks do win the tip, I should say, and Daniel Gafford starting at center. I see Anthony Davis coming around with a dunk, and the Mavericks score the first 2 points of the game. This is schedule block number 2, and this is the first time each team has been featured in schedule block number 2 right now, as I believe this is game number 4. The Rockets were featured twice, as you see, three-pointer by Kevin Durant. Oh, no, that's not Kevin Durant. That's Aaron Holiday. And the Rockets are on top by 1 here. But the Mavericks lost their only game in schedule block number 1. They are 0-1 in watched games. The Rockets split their 2 games in schedule block number 1. They are 1-1 in watched games. Davis passes it over to Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg for 3. That is off the iron, and Thompson will get the rebound. Amen Thompson back to Durant, and Kevin Durant this time he'll get the points there, and it's a 5-2 lead right now for the Rockets. The Mavericks started off the season 7-0. You see Klay Thompson for 3. That is off the iron, and Alperen Sengun will get the rebound there. Mavericks started off 7-0, but they've been 4-13 in 17 games since then. And you see Cooper Flagg getting the start. He did not get the start the first time. I believe it's because Lively is out. You see Aaron Holiday for 3. He drains it. He has 6 in this game. Both of those points are 3 so far early on. It's an 8-0 run for the Rockets. See Klay Thompson back over to Anthony Davis. Back to Russell. D'Angelo Russell for 3. He drains it. And that'll end the 8-0 run there as we're over 2 minutes into the first quarter. The Rockets up 8-5. You see Kevin Durant coming around. He had 16 points in their last game, winning their last game against the Phoenix Suns. As you see, that is stolen there. You see Gafford with the slam dunk. And they're trying to keep the Mavericks in this game. As I said, the Mavericks desperately want to get back on another winning streak again. As I mentioned, they started off the season 7-0, but they've been 4-13 since. Yeah, the Rockets get off to a slow start, but they started playing some good basketball. As Alperen Sengun, look at that. He gets through, and he's going to get the bucket there. Gets through Gafford and Davis. D'Lo with it. Back over the Flag, back to Anthony Davis. 10-7, the Rockets on top. Over 3 minutes into the game. Davis back over to Gafford. Gafford will get the bucket there inside the paint. As we're approaching 3.5 minutes into the first quarter here, the Rockets leading it by 1 in the early part of this game. Durant coming through. Kevin Durant with the layup. That is good. That is 4 points for Kevin Durant, averaging 27.6 points a game on the season right now. You see Klay for 3. That is off the iron, too strong, and Jabari Smith Jr. will grab the rebound there. You see Aaron Holiday coming. Holiday back to Durant. Durant for 3. That is too strong. Gafford with the rebound. Davis now has it, passing it over to Cooper Flagg. Back over to Davis. Davis coming around. That is too strong, and Jabari Smith will get the rebound. Kevin Durant with it. Durant. There's a 3. That is good. That is Amen Thompson with the 3. And the Rockets now up by 6. D'Angelo Russell with a jump shot. That is too strong, but Gafford gets the offensive rebound. Klay Thompson misses that one. Alperen Sengun will grab the rebound. Durant back over to Thompson. Amen Thompson with a slam dunk and a shooting foul called against Anthony Davis. So Thompson will go to the line shooting one. Amen Thompson, and there's the bucket. It's a 9-point lead for the Rockets. And the Mavericks will call a timeout. 7:09 to play in the first. The Rockets up 18-9, and we're going to keep it here for this timeout. As customary for the first timeout at every game, it's time for me to promote my channel for those who are new. I am Vinny from VW Productions. I do sports video games. You are currently watching an NBA 2K26 project that I'm doing, going through the 2025-2026 NBA season, where I play one game for every 2 to 3 calendar days. I play the game, go through the stats, go through the post-game ticker of the scores for those games, for those calendar days I'm talking about, and then I go through the injury report or any other notable news and notes that are taking place that are worthy for me to post. And I also do College Football 26 weekly simulations. I do at least 3 or 4 games a week, as well as I'm starting a 28-team college football playoff just for myself. I mean, we all know I don't think it's going to expand that much in the FBS, but in this universe, I could do that. And I do a projections video every Wednesday at noon Eastern until selections show on December 7th. And those always come out on Wednesday because of the college football playoff rankings coming out on Tuesday evening. As we look at the rookies this season, assists per game, Cooper Flagg, 2.5 assists per game. He is third in the league amongst rookies, with the Mavericks trailing by 9 here, 7:09 to play. I know Cooper Flagg did not get the start in the first game against the Washington Wizards in the first watched game, but he gets a start in this game. You see Anthony Davis coming around with the bucket. It's good. The Mavericks shooting 5-11 in this game. The Rockets have only missed once, 7 of 8. See, Aaron Holiday already has 2 3-pointers in this game. Amen Thompson, that's too strong for him. Aaron Holiday had 17 points and 3 assists in their last game against the Suns, a victory for them. See Davis coming around again. Back over to Russell. D'Lo. That is no good. Alperen Sengun will grab the rebound. Cooper Flagg with it. Pass, or not Flagg, that was Holiday. Giving over to Thompson. Flagg's with the Mavericks. See, 9 to shoot. And there's a bucket there. Amen Thompson with another bucket. The Rockets up by 9. And in recent news, I know this has been days old at the time this game comes out, but you see for 3, that is no good for Davis. Gafford gives it back to Davis, and Davis will get the points anyway. But you guys are very well aware that Nico Harrison was fired as GM of the Dallas Mavericks, and a move that people probably thought should have been done after he traded Luka Doncic to the Dallas Mavericks for Anthony Davis. They see Durant, 4 to shoot. Back over to Jabari Smith Jr. He'll shoot for 3. That is off the iron. Sengun will get the rebound. Offensive rebound, I should say. Amen Thompson coming around with the layup. It's back to a 9-point lead again as the Rockets are on a 14-6 run in nearly the last 6.5 minutes. Russell coming through. Back over to Cooper Flagg. 7 to shoot. Flagg coming through. Back over to Gafford. Gafford with the jam. See, Cooper Flagg had 15 points and 5 rebounds in their last game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. That was a loss there. But you saw Cooper Flagg getting the assist there on that Gafford slam dunk. Under 8 to shoot here. Look at Amen Thompson, 22 points, 4 assists. Back over to Alperen Sengun. And that is good. The Mavericks up by 9, or the Rockets up by 9, and we have a timeout here. 4:25 to play in the first. We're going to take a break. You're watching NBA 2K on VW Productions. And we are back here in Dallas. The Rockets up 24-15, 4:25 to play in the first quarter. 9-point lead for the Mavericks here. See Jason Kidd there on the bench. The Mavericks, as I mentioned earlier, with the Cooper flag, or the Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis trade from last year. You see D'Angelo Russell for 3. He drains it. Russell had 17 points, 8 assists in their last game against the Thunder in a loss. Kevin Durant comes back the other way with a 3 of his own. And there's Gafford. Gafford with the layup there. Daniel Gafford has 8 points tonight, all 8 of them in the paint. 7-point lead for the Mavs. Durant for 3. He drains it. Back-to-back threes for him. And the Rockets are up by 10. 3.5 to play in the first. D'Angelo Russell coming around. Pass it over to Davis. Davis, there's a jumper. That is no good. Clint Capella into the game now. You see Reed Shepherd also in for the Rockets. Kevin Durant. You see the Mavericks, or the rebounds. The Rockets edging the Mavericks 8-5 right now. There's Cooper Flag. And Thompson for 3. He drains it. It's back to a 7-point game again. Shades of his old self right there with the Splash Brothers between him and Curry in Golden State. Though a lot of people saying that he might actually be, this might be it for him in real life, as you see Kevin Durant going to the line with Cooper Flag called for that shooting foul. Durant will shoot too. But speaking of Cooper Flag, a lot of players, because when that whole trade happened for Anthony Davis and Luka Doncic, as you see, Durant hits the first one. Thompson going to go to the bench. See Kevin Durant. Durant will sink the second one. Rockets back up by 9. They led by as many as 10. Christie into the game for the Mavericks now. Over to Thompson. Thompson for 3. That is off. Clint Capella with the rebound. Is Davison with the rebound. The Mavericks actually ended up going to the play-in tournament. They beat Sacramento in the first one. You see Eason with it in the first game, but then they lost in the elimination game. They did not make the playoffs, so that means they were a lottery team, and for some reason they ended up winning the lottery. See Clay for 3. That is off the iron. No good. Sparks the debate. Should teams, if you're watching this, should teams that enter the play-in tournament be eligible for the lottery? Yeah, I know they technically isn't the playoffs. You see Durant with that layup, and it's an 11-point lead for the Rockets. See Clay with it, 1:45 to play in the first. Back over to Christie. Christie coming around. Over to Davis, and Davis with the slam dunk. But as I mentioned, should teams that enter the play-in tournament be eligible for the lottery? As you see Durant coming around again. He has 16 points in this first quarter on 6 of 8 shooting. The rest of the team with 20. Gafford coming around. There's a bucket there. That's 10 points for Gafford. Capella inbounding it over to Durant. 1 minute to play in the first. Durant for 3. He drains it. That's 19 for him. He's had 3 3-pointers already in this first quarter. Klay Thompson for 3. That is too strong. Capella with the rebound. Back over to Durant. Klay Thompson. Durant. That's another 3-point attempt. No good. Klay Thompson, 1 of 7 shooting, 3 points and 1 assist. Christie with it. Back over to Davis. Davis back to Thompson. Thompson, jumper is good. That's 5 for him. He needed that one. He's been struggling in this first quarter. 10-point game. Led by as many as 12, I believe. Under 14 to shoot, or 14 to play in the quarter, I should say now. Under 10 seconds to play. Shot clock is turned off. It's coming around. 2, 1. Durant, shot up, no good. And that will do it for the first quarter. Rockets off to a strong start, led by Kevin Durant. It is 39-29. The Rockets on top at the end of one. We'll be back. You're watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. We're back here to start the second quarter here. Josh Okogie is into the game now for the Rockets. They're up by 10. Reed Sheppard for 3. That is too strong. Marshall will get the rebound for the Mavericks. Christie with it. Back over to Marshall. There's a screen there. Marshall for 3. That is too strong. Josh Okogie will grab the rebound there as we're approaching 30 seconds into the second quarter. 10-point lead for the Rockets. Hardy, Christie, Martin, Marshall, and P.J. Washington into the game for the Mavericks to start the second quarter. Okogie for 3. He drains it. Back over to Martin. Martin with it. Martin passing over to Washington. P.J. Washington for 3. That is no good. See, Okogie with it. Or Koji, I think, is what I heard. Okogie for 3. That is too strong. But Alperen Sengun will get the rebound and the put in there, and it's a 15-point lead. The largest of the game for the Rockets here. So we're about a minute and a half. Martin for 3. That is no good. Okogie back over to Dorian Finney-Smith. Finney-Smith, the put-up, that is no good. Washington will get the rebound. Hardy with it for the Mavs. Trailing by 15. Hardy, I believe that's a three-point attempt. Easton will get the rebound off the miss. Reed Sheppard with it. Back over to Easton. Easton for 3. Hey, it's good. It's an 18-point lead now for the Rockets. They're off to an 8-0 run in the last minutes plus. That's actually how they start the quarter. On an 8-0 run here. 7 on the shot clock. Martin with it. Back over to Hardy. 2 to shoot. Hardy will get the 3-point. That's off. Easton will grab the rebound. Sheppard has it for the Rockets up by 18. 9-10 to play in the second. Easton for 3. Too strong. Marshall will get the rebound. Marshall back over to Christie. Hardy with it. Back over to Washington. Washington for 3. That's too strong. Caleb Martin will get the rebound. Hardy has it again for the Mavericks. 7 to shoot on the clock. Hardy's going to come around. He is foul. Easton will be called for the foul, and Hardy's going to go to the line for 2.
At the line for Dallas, Hardy taking 2 shots.
And he misses the first one here. We got substitutions for both teams coming back in. And he sinks the second one. So that's the first point for the Mavericks in this second quarter here. 47-30, Rockets on top. KD coming around. KD rejected by Anthony Davis. Nice block by AD there. But the Rockets will retain possession as Christie is back into the game. Shungan back over to Eason. Eason passing back to Okogie. Back over to Finney-Smith. Durant thought about the shot. He will get the shot up. That is no good. P.J. Washington with the rebound. Kevin Durant, 19 points in that first quarter. Flag. Passing it back over to Davis. Davis with the layup. That's good. Anthony Davis now in double figures. He has 10 points. All 10 of them in the paint. KD with it. .45 left to play in the second quarter. Back over to Dorian Finney-Smith. Finney-Smith with a jump shot. That is off the iron. Christie will get the rebound for the Mavericks. Cooper Flagg with a jump shot. That is off the iron. Alperen Sengun will get the rebound there. Eason now has it again. Back over to Okogie. That is no good. Cooper Flagg back over to P.J. Washington here. Russell with it. Under 10 to shoot on the shot clock. Back over to Cooper Flagg. Second. Flagg with a jump shot. That is no good. Eason will grab the rebound. Eason with it. It's stolen by D'Angelo Russell. Russell back over to Cooper Flagg. Flagg passing it back to Davis. Davis, there's a hook shot. That is good. Mavericks only within 13 now. Trailed by as many as 18. Alperen Sengun with it's that shot over Anthony Davis, and Sengun with 8 points. 4 of 4 shooting in this game for the Mavericks, and the Rockets are back up by 15. Why do I say Mavericks? It's the Rockets he plays for. AC Anthony Davis with the slam dunk. I believe that's 14 for him now. You see D'Angelo Russell with the assist there. Halfway through the second quarter, 49-36, Rockets on top. Kevin Durant coming around. Durant, he misses that one. Still maintains possession, did not hit the rim, so it's only now 2 to shoot. Durant will get the shot up. That is no good. Cooper Flagg grabbing the rebound. Russell back over to Christie. Christie, tried the alley-oop, but Sengun was there for the steal. Okogie with it. Passing it back over to Durant. 5:08 to play here in the second quarter. Finney-Smith for 3. That is off the iron, too strong. Davis had the rebound there. Back over to Cooper Flagg. Flagg back to Christie, to Washington, to Russell. Russell, that shot is up. That is no good, but Davis had the rebound, but he misses that one, and Alperen Sengun will get the rebound. Okogie has it now. Back over to Durant. Durant for 3. That is too strong. Cooper Flagg will get the rebound here. Over to Davis. Anthony Davis with the slam dunk. He has 16, and the Mavericks are within 11. As the Rockets will call a timeout. I believe that's the first timeout of the second quarter. We're going to take a break as well. 4:17 left to play, 49-38. Mavericks, you're watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. We are back here in Dallas. 49-38. The Rockets leading the Mavericks here. 4:17 to play until halftime. So the Rockets had a lead as much as 18 in the second quarter. The Mavericks still trying to find their way back into this game. They only trail by 11. Eason back over to Durant. Durant with a deep three. That is good. That's 22 for him in this game. First points of the second quarter. And the Rocket lead back up by 14. Cooper Flag back over to Anthony Davis. 3:52 to play. Coming around, passing it over to Gafford. Gafford back to Russell. D'Angelo Russell for three. That is too strong. And who's that going to be off of? That will be Rockets ball. Look at the three-point contest race here. Trey Young, SGA, Malik Monk, Isaiah Joe, amongst a couple of other people. Question is, you see Malik Monk in that Kings logo. Will he be in a different uniform before the All-Star game? I see Amen Thompson. There's the bucket there. It's the lead's back up to 16. This game coming to you from the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. Cooper Flag for three. That is too strong. Easton will get the rebound. Kevin Durant. Pass it over to Amen Thompson. Back over to Durant. Durant coming through. 5 to play here. Durant with 1 to shoot. He will get it in. It's an 18-point lead. 24 points for Kevin Durant. He struggled a little bit early in the second quarter, but now he's starting to heat up. He had 19 in that first quarter. You see Clay for three. That is too strong. Durant will grab the rebound. Klay Thompson, 5 points on 2 of 10 shooting and 1 rebound. Maybe people are right. Maybe he is definitely on the decline. See Durant with it. 5 to shoot on the shot clock. Durant loses it. D'Angelo Russell with the steal. He going the other way. Russell with it. Passing it over to Thompson. Clay for three. That is off the iron. Jabari Smith with the junior with the rebound. You see Kevin Durant with it. 2 minutes to play here. Easton coming around. Easton with the layup. That is no good. Thompson will grab the rebound. Clay for three. He's just having a terrible game. I believe he's 2 of 12 shooting now. So only 5 points in this game for him. Thompson coming around. Amen Thompson back over to Smith Jr. for three. That is off the iron. Gafford will grab the rebound. Anthony Davis thought he had a screen for a second. Over to Davis. Davis puts it up. That is no good. Jabari Smith Jr. will grab the rebound there, and Holiday has it. Durant. That is rejected. See Kevin Durant. And there's the bucket there, and the Rockets are on top by 20. 1:04 to play until halftime. We're going to take a break. You're watching NBA 2K on VW Productions. And we are back in Dallas. As I said, the Rockets now leading by 20. The Rockets up by 20. Largest lead of the game. You look at the rebounds per game. It looks like Clint Capella is starting to decline a little bit, but it is still early season for him. You see D'Angelo Russell taking the inbound by Cooper Flag. Russell loses it. Holiday is going to come around. He's going to get the easy layup there. It's a 22-point lead. See D'Angelo Russell with under 40 seconds or 45 seconds to play now until halftime. Anthony Davis with the slam dunk. Davis has definitely had himself a game. But unfortunately, that steps out of bounds though. Kevin Durant will have a careless turnover there. And the Mavericks will get it back with exactly 36 to play until halftime. But you see that nice block that Anthony Davis had earlier on Kevin Durant. A highlight there. D'Angelo Russell back to Gafford. Gafford will get the points. 18-point game now. D'Angelo Russell will get the assist there. Back over to Capella. Clint Capella with it. Over to Jabari Smith Jr. Over to Thompson. 8 on the shot clock. Back to Drew Holiday. Back over to Jabari Smith Jr. Smith Jr. back over to Thompson. Thompson for three. That is off the iron. Davis with it. coming around. Flag. Gonna get the three off. That is no good, and that will do it for the first half here in Dallas. The Houston Rockets are up by 18 in what has been a very dominant effort so far by the Rockets. We are going to go to halftime. You are watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. We'll see you in the second half. We're back here in the start of the third quarter in Dallas. The Rockets leading the Mavericks 60-42. We look at Kevin Durant, who had 24 points in that first half. So the Rockets at 13-7 to start off the season. The Mavericks at 11-13, as I mentioned earlier. They were 7-0 to start off the season, but have now lost 13 of their last 17. And they are dealing with a slew of injuries here. As you see, Holiday, Thompson, Shungan, Durant, and Smith Jr., the starting five for the Rockets out. I believe the starting five for the Mavericks are also out, as both teams have missed buckets coming down the floor the first trip. You see Aaron Holiday misses that, Cooper Flag, and we actually have an early timeout called by the Mavericks. 27 seconds into the third quarter, we're going to take a break. 18-point lead for the Rockets. You're watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. And we are back here, and I kind of find it bizarre that 27 seconds into the quarter, or into the half, we have a timeout. We look at the second chance points leaders there in the last 10 games on average. You see the Mavericks at number 5 and the Rockets at number 3. You see Russell inbound, getting the inbound from Anthony Davis. Christie into the game. I kind of wonder, is there an injury? Because I see Christie into the game now. I see Russell with it. Back over to Gafford. Gafford with the layup and the first points in the second half by the Mavericks. Thompson with it. Amen Thompson for the Rockets. Coming through with a jump shot. That is no good. Christie will grab the rebound. Looking at Ali LaForce reporting here. Gafford will miss that one as Durant with a rebound. Back over to Amen Thompson. Back to Kevin Durant, who had 24 in that first half. Durant under 10 to shoot on the shot clock. Getting that screen for a second by Anthony Davis, or being screened by Anthony Davis. Durant's going to get that shot up. That is no good. Gafford grabbing the rebound. Davis with it. Cooper Flag has it for the Mavericks, trailing by 16. Back over to AD. AD coming around. AD, that is no good. Jabari Smith Jr. with the rebound. Anthony Davis, as I said, 18 points in that first half, 6 rebounds. Amen Thompson coming around. Back over to Jabari Smith Jr. That is I believe that Davis had a piece of that, so that could be a block. Back over to Davis. Davis, there's the bucket there. It's a 14-point game again, and that's 20 for AD. Is that Max Christie? But the Mavericks, though, coming around. Amen Thompson. is going to go to the line as Christie is called for the foul.
Personal foul. First team foul.
So it's going to be an and one opportunity for Amon Thompson. So we're approaching 2.5 into the third quarter. That's the first points for the Rockets in this second half. Back up by 16. They led by 18 at halftime. Their largest lead was 22 points. 17-point lead again for the Rockets. Christie with it. Back over to D'Angelo Russell. Back over to Davis. Davis for three. Shingen will grab the rebound there. Holiday with it. Crossing the timeline. Holiday for three. That is off the iron, and Gafford will get the rebound here. We got D'Angelo Russell. Back over to Christie. Christie back to Russell. Russell. Is that a three? That is a three. D'Angelo Russell only had 6 points in that first half. That's his first 3 points of the second half, so he has 9. Or I say unofficially have 9 yet. You see Aaron Holiday. That is off the iron. Gafford with the rebound. Cooper Flagg. Back over to Russell. Russell for three. That is off the iron. Kevin Durant with the rebound. Durant. Almost lost it for a second. Durant back over to Jabari Smith Jr. Yeah. Kevin Durant will get the assist on there, and the Rockets are back up by 16. Cooper Flagg. I don't think he's had any points in this game yet. I could be wrong, as Shingen will get the steal there. Holiday has it. Holiday puts the Rockets back up by 18 as we are over 4 minutes into the third quarter. Russell back over to Davis. See Davis coming around. Davis getting that shot up. That is good. Anthony Davis with 22 points, all 22 of them in the paint. See Holiday back to Amon Thompson. Amon Thompson. That's how you respond to a bucket like that. Aaron Holiday with the assist. Cooper Flagg holding on, the #1 draft pick of this year's draft. And see Russell with it. Back over. D'Angelo Russell for three. That is off the iron. Shungen will get the rebound. Kevin Durant with it. Coming around over to Jabari Smith Jr. Back over to Kevin Durant. 6:47 to play here in the third. 4 on the shot clock. Durant. There's a shot. That is off the iron. Gafford grabbing the rebound. Kevin Durant, 24 points, but he has yet to score in the second half. Cooper Flagg. I have to say, I cannot confirm it yet, but I don't think he's had any points in this game. But he will have an assist there on that dunk by Anthony Davis. That's 26 for him. Or is that 24? Amon Thompson. That is no good. Durant, or Davis will get the rebound there. Russell back over to Gafford. Gafford. I believe Thompson had a piece of that, but that still was able to draw the iron. Durant. That is no good. Gafford grabbing the rebound. Cooper Flagg with it now for the Mavericks. Back over to Russell. Russell. Back over to Christie. Christie for three. He drains it. It's only a 13-point game now with 5:20 to play in the third. Still plenty of time for the Mavericks here. And there is a timeout called. 5:20 to play in the third quarter. It is 69-56 Rockets. We're going to take a timeout. You are watching NBA 2K on Vida Productions. And we are back here in Dallas. The Rockets still up by 13. They led by as many as 22 points in that first half. The only time the Mavericks had any lead was 2-0 on an Anthony Davis dunk. As you see Kevin Durant getting ready to inbound. Or no, that's Holiday getting ready to inbound it. Or Smith Jr. What am I talking about? Alpern Şengün with it. Holiday now officially has it. 5:12 to play here. Thompson coming around. Amen Thompson misses it as Cooper Flagg will get the rebound there. Klay Thompson back into the game. You see that little injury designation there. I'm kind of interested to see how long he's going to be out or what that injury is, but he's playing in this game. As you see Holiday with it. Thompson. And it's back to a 15-point lead again. That is probably why we had that timeout less than 30 seconds into the quarter. Back over to Gafford. Gafford with the dunk. Angelo Russell there with the assist on that dunk by Gafford. Kevin Durant with it. Back over to Thompson. Amen Thompson for three. That is off at Alpern Şengün. Getting the rebound, and he's going to get the points there. Second chance points for the Rockets. He's back up to a 15-point lead again. P.J. Washington. Over to Thompson. Klay for three. He drains it. That's only 8 points for him in this game. His third made bucket. That's a 12-point lead. Definitely going to be interesting to see how long he's going to be out. Kevin Durant coming around, and you just let him go through, and I believe that might be, yeah, that is his first points of the second half. He has 26 total in this game. D'Angelo Russell for three. That is off the iron. And Davis almost had the offensive rebound, or Gafford almost had the offensive rebound, but they ended up going to the Rockets there, and there you see Cooper Flagg. I might not have any confirmation yet, but I think Cooper Flagg has yet to get points in this game. This does go too fast for me, as you see Russell for three. That is off the iron. Kevin Durant grabbing the rebound. Pass it over to Amen Thompson. Thompson will go to the line as D'Angelo Russell called for the foul there. We look at the Rockets schedule. They have a home game against the Timberwolves, and they're on the road at the Nuggets, at the Pelicans. As we have a timeout here, we're going to take one ourselves. And we are back here in Dallas. The Rockets up by 14, and we do have free throws coming up. I believe it's Amen Thompson going to the line. And that is him. He'll be shooting two. And he makes the first one. As I mentioned earlier, I do not think Cooper Flagg has had any points yet in this game for the number one overall draft pick. And that misses there, so it's one of two made. Marshall coming around with it for the Mavericks here, trailing by 15. Max Christie coming around. Christie with the layup. That is good. 13-point lead for the Rockets here. 2:24 to play in the third. Thompson coming through. There's a shot. That is no good, and Christie will get the rebound for the Mavericks here. As I said, you see Klay Thompson out there, but when he has the ball, you see that little injury designation, the yellow one at least, so that means it's probably not as severe. Martin coming around. Martin's going to go to the line as Clint Capella called for the foul on the shooting foul.
First personal foul.
That's Capella's first foul, and the Rockets' first team foul of the third quarter. Caleb Martin shooting one, and a chance to take this deficit only to 10. And it took an adventure, but it does go in. Okoji with it. I need to make sure it is Okoji and not Okaji. Eason will get gets the screen there. He's going to go to the line as P.J. Washington called for his first foul, the shooting foul there. Tari Eason going to the line here. We look at the three-point percentage of the last 30 days. You see Tyler Hero at 59.5%, leading the league there. As we said, the Miami Heat injury-wise are now fully healthy, but as I said, Terry Rozier still technically is considered on the injured list, but he is suspended. I see Easton will make the first one. Davison coming back into the game here. Harris going to the bench. And there's a bucket there. Nembhard into the game now for the Mavericks. Back over to Washington. I believe that is Klay Thompson's out of the game. Nembhard coming through. To the shoot. Davis gets a shot up. That is good. It's back to only a 10-point game again. Anthony Davis, 26 points, 24 of them in the paint. Now I officially can say Anthony Davis is at 26 points. I was confused for a second. I thought he was at 26 earlier. Sometimes I will say unofficially until we get the... You see Clint Capella. It is Josh Okoji. That is actually his name. I kept saying Okaji. So it is Josh Okoji. Martin for three. He misses that one. Capella will get the rebound here to Davison. To Eason. Eason's coming around. He's rejected. Nembhard will get it for the Mavericks. Shot clock turned off. Nembhard. Back over to Marshall. 9 left in the quarter. Marshall for three. That is off the iron. No good. Okoji has it. He'll shoot it from half court. That is off the rim, and that will do it for the third quarter here. At the end of 3, the Rockets still leading it by 12. We're going to take a break. We'll be back to start the fourth quarter. You're watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. And we are back here. We look at the State Farm assist of the game. That's going to go to Kevin Durant on an Amen Thompson dunk. As we start here, the Rockets only up by 12. They led by as many as 22 in the first half, led by 18 at halftime. Now it's only a 12-point game. You see Christie, Marshall, Davis, Washington, and Martin into the game. As you see Caleb Martin with the bucket, he brings it to within 10 again. As we start the fourth quarter here, let's letting everybody know that when this game is done, we are not done yet. Don't forget, we still got statistics, post-game ticker, injury report, and any other news and notes that are worthy for me, if I can find any. You see Tate out there. And the next game, which will be tomorrow, if you're watching this on time, which will be tomorrow, Sunday, November 16th. That'll be out at 10 a.m. Eastern before the NFL games come out. If you're watching this at a later date, that's when it came out. But the calendar of that game will be December 8th, 2025. And you see Dorian Finney-Smith there as we head to Indianapolis. As we head to Indianapolis, two teams that are not doing really well. The Indiana Pacers will be hosting the Sacramento Kings. Both of them will only be making their only... you see Anthony Davis there going to the line. Getting the points there. There's Alper and Shungan getting called for the shooting foul here. We got some substitutions being made. But yeah, it is Sacramento at Indiana. That calendar date will be December 8th, 2025, but the game will be uploaded on November 16th, 2025. That is Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. For those that are watching this now, at the time this came out, or at a later date. You see Reed Sheppard there. Anthony Davis actually brings the Mavericks within single digits. It is going to be their first appearance in schedule block number 2, and I believe it's the only one for both teams. Could be the last time we see them. We don't know yet, as there is a rebound by the... You see Anthony Davis, he's going to go to the line, and Alperen Sengun fouls him again with a shooting foul. And looking at my records, yes, it is the only time both the Kings and the Pacers will be on the schedule block number 1 here. As you see, Anthony Davis makes the free throw. The lead is only 8 now. They're within 8. And they're just about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter. The Mavericks did have a 2-0 lead. That was it. And Davis hits them both. It's only a 7-point game. Gradually coming back. The Rockets led by as many as 22. And we have ourselves, might have ourselves a game, guys. Easton coming around back to Sengun, and Sengun will get the slam dunk, and the lead is back up to 9. So yes, tomorrow it will be, next game will be the Indiana Pacers hosting the Sacramento Kings. Max Christie back over, finding Davis. Davis, that is a miss right there. Okogie with it. Josh Okogie. Passing it back over to Easton. Easton back to Sengun. 9 on the shot clock to Reed Sheppard. 6 on the shot clock. Back over to Okogie. Okogie for 3. That is off the iron. Anthony Davis will grab the rebound. Marshall with it for the Mavericks. Running back to Martin. Back to Christie. The PJ Washington. Under 9 to play here. 9-point lead for the Rockets. 4 on the shot clock. Davis coming through. Davis getting the shot up. That is no good. Dorian Finney-Smith with the rebound as Easton now has it. 17 on the clock. Reed Sheppard. Passing it over to Easton. Easton coming through. Easton with a jump shot. That's good. And the Rockets are back up by 11 here with under 8.5 to play in the fourth. Christie with it for the Mavericks. Davis for 3. He drains it. Anthony Davis, 34 points, and he already has 8 in this quarter. And it's back to single digits again. Okogie had it. Sheppard back over to Easton. Under 8 to play in this game. And the deficit is 8. Sheppard. That is off the iron. Marshall will grab the rebound. As the... But you see Christie with it. Over to Cooper. Oh, no, the Caleb Martin, I should say. Martin coming around. He almost lost it for a second. Back to Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis with the slam dunk. He has 36. And the lead is now 6 points. The Rockets feeling a little bit nervous right now. We have a timeout by the Rockets here. 7:22 to play. We're going to take a timeout. The Rockets only lead by 6 now. You're watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. And we are back here in Dallas here, and the Mavericks trailing by 22 in the first half now have the deficit cut to 8 or cut to 6 here. As the Rockets called a timeout here, Anthony Davis leading the charge with 36 points here. We see Ali LaForce reporting. I know Klay Thompson had a little bit of an injury. We'll see if they're going to report it. No, nothing to report with Klay Thompson yet. I see Ahmed Thompson for 3. That is off the iron. Cooper Flagg back into the game. I do not believe he had any points yet. Russell for 3. That is off the iron, and Sengun will get the rebound. Kevin Durant coming through. Back over to Dorian Finney-Smith. Finney-Smith for 3. That is off the iron. Russell with it. Finney Smith only 2 points, 1 of 7 shooting for 1 rebound. Clay is actually back in the game. He drains that. Even with that injury designation, he hits a 3. He's at 11 points in this game, and it's only a 3-point game. Thompson coming through. Amen Thompson. There's a bucket there. 88-83. Amen Thompson with 20 points in this game. Back over to Gafford. Over to Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson for 3. That is off the iron. Finney Smith will get the rebound. Back over to Tari Easton. Tari Easton for 3. That is off. Klay Thompson getting the rebound there. Under 6 to play here in the 4th. Only a 5-point lead for the Rockets. Gafford coming around. Thought about the shot. He does take the shot, and it's back to a 3-point game again. The Mavericks feel it. Kevin Durant coming through. Durant. There's a much-needed bucket for him. And the Rockets up by 5 again. 5:20 to play in the 4th. D'Angelo Russell back over to Anthony Davis. AD with it. Coming through. AD with the bucket. That is no good. Easton with the rebound. Coming through for Thompson. Back over to Kevin Durant. Over to Dorian Finney-Smith here. 15 on the shot clock. Back to Thompson. Thompson for 3. That is off the iron. Cooper Flagg grabbing the rebound. Flagg. Passing it back over to D'Angelo Russell. 4:40 to play here. Gafford with it. 9 to shoot. Thompson for 3. That is off the iron, and Amen Thompson will have it for the Rockets. Kevin Durant coming through. Durant. Jumper. No good. Davis with the rebound. Back over to Thompson. He loses it. Alperen Sengun with it. You see Durant now having it. Alperen Sengun coming around. Alperen Sengun with the layup, and that is good. 7-point lead again for the Rockets. D'Angelo Russell. Under 4 minutes to play here. Over to Anthony Davis. Davis coming around. Davis. Good. 38 points for him. 30 of them have been in the paint. It's back to a 5-point lead for the Rockets. So we're about to go 3.5. You see Durant for 3. That is off, and Davis is like, hey, give that to me. I'll make things happen here. Over to Cooper Flagg. Flagg. That's it over to Davis. 9 to shoot. Over to Davis. Davis. That is no good. Alperen Sengun will grab the rebound. Easton. Almost threw that away. You see Easton back there again. Amen Thompson for 3. That is off the iron. Cooper Flagg with the rebound. D'Angelo Russell with it. Back over to Cooper Flagg. Back over to Russell. Russell to Davis. Davis a deep 2. That is off the iron. Durant will grab the rebound. Alperen Sengun. Over to Kevin Durant. 10 on the shot clock here with the Rockets leading by 5. He gets that shot up. That is good. Kevin Durant is making some buckets now when it mattered. The Mavericks cut it to within 3. Have not been closer. Davis back to Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg, that shot is up. That is good. That is a huge 3 for Cooper Flagg. I believe that might be his first points of the game, and the Rockets will call a timeout. They only lead by 4. We're going to take a break. You're watching NBA 2K on VW Productions. And we are back here at the American Airlines Center. Cooper Flagg, and I can confirm that those are his first 3 points of the game. You look at that scoreboard there, you see the points. He only has 3. So that 3-pointer was very well needed here. Cuts the deficit back to 4. The Rockets getting ready to inbound it as Şengün has it off the inbound back to Durant. Durant coming through back over to Jabari Smith Jr. to Thompson. Thompson for three. He drains it. And the Rockets are back up on top by 7. A minute 45 to play in the fourth. Over to Anthony Davis. Davis has led the charge, and that is no good. Durant will grab the rebound. 90 seconds to play in the fourth. The Rockets up by 7. Coming around, KD with it. Passing back over to Smith Jr., back to Alman Thompson here. 4 on the shot clock. Got to get his shot up. Thompson for 3. That is off the iron. Minute 10 left to play. Thompson, Klay Thompson still in, even with that little injury icon next to him. Gafford with it, and there is a 3-second violation. Something that was ill-advised for the Mavericks, especially at a time, this point of the game. Thompson has it for the Mavs. Back over to KD. KD back to Holiday. Aaron Holiday with it. Jabari Smith Jr. coming through. 6 on the shot clock. That is rejected by Anthony Davis. Cooper Flagg has it. He had a big three-pointer earlier today. He'll get 2 additional points there. 35.9 left to play. It's only a 5-point game. They got to play some defense here. Do they start fouling? Anthony Davis does foul. Trying to send him to the line. Look at that huge block there. And you saw Cooper Flagg getting it. And he went down to score right then and there on that last trip. 34.6. Oh, no, wait a minute. That was at the time of the foul. And another foul. That will be on Cooper Flagg. And I believe that's going to bring him to the line now at this point of the game, as Houston is in the bonus here. Kevin Durant. Really good first half, but he has struggled a bit in the second half. But he has made some clutch shots here in the fourth quarter. Durant will make the first one. Still keeps it at a 2-possession game. Now a chance to make it a 3-possession game. And he misses it. Flagg with it, coming through. Flagg. They got to get a shot up. Anthony Davis for 3. That is off. Şengün will get the rebound, and Alman Thompson, I believe, is going to go to the line here as Cooper Flagg will foul him there.
Thompson, 2 shots.
2 shots. 22.1 to play. Chance to make this a 3-possession game with under 25 to play. 25 seconds to play here. You see Thompson will make the first one. And Thompson will miss the second one. Here you go. Klay Thompson with it. There's a 3. That is off the iron. Jabari Smith Jr. with it. Shot clock turned off, and really, I don't think they're going to really do anything with it. And my goodness, did the Rockets hold off a furious charge by the Mavericks. The Mavericks were trailing by 22. They cut it to it in the first half. They cut it to within 3 in the early part of the fourth quarter, but the Rockets have been able to hold on. They will win 99-92. They will move to 14-7. The Mavericks now fall to 11-14 on the season. They have lost 14 of their last 18 games. We are not done yet. Looking at the statistics now for the players here, we have Anthony Davis in 42 minutes of play. Look at that, 38 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 blocks. Daniel Gafford, 18 points, 11 rebounds, and 1 assist, a double-double for him. Klay Thompson, as I said, he did have that little injury designation or icon next to him. Doesn't look like it's serious, but we're going to see what the injury report looks like for the Mavericks coming up. see where he's going to be listed. He only had 11 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists on 4 of 19 shooting. 3 of those shots were made from the three-point line. D'Angelo Russell, only 9 points, 2 rebounds, 7 assists, and a steal. Cooper Flagg held to only 5 points in this game, and I got to tell you, he should have made... He did have 9 rebounds and 7 assists with 2 steals and a block, but I'm sure they could have used some points from him in this game. Max Christie, 5 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Caleb Martin only had 5 points, but he had a rebound and 1 assist. Jaden Hardy, only 1 free throw made. PJ Washington, no points, but he did have 5 rebounds, 1 assist, and a block. Najee Marshall, 4 rebounds and 1 assist. Ryan Nimard only had 1 rebound and 1 assist. Brandon Williams only had 1 minute of play, but no stats. Now you have Dwight Powell, Miles Kelly. Those two did not play for the Mavericks in this game. And now we look at the Houston Rockets. The victorious Houston Rockets, led by Kevin Durant. He only had 7 points in that second half, but let me tell you, he made a couple of buckets when it mattered. He had 31 points on 10 rebounds, 8 assists. As I said, 24 of those came in the first half, but as of that fourth quarter, he made 2 huge buckets there when the Rockets needed them. Amen Thompson, 24 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Alperen Sengun, double-double for him, 14 points, 16 rebounds, 2 steals. Aaron Holiday, 12 points and 2 assists. Tari Eason, 9 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist. Josh Okogie, 3 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist off the bench. Jabari Smith Jr. started the game, but he only had 2 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. Clint Capella, 2 rebounds and only 4 assists, or 2 points and 4 rebounds. Dorian Finney-Smith, 2 rebounds, 2 points, 2 rebounds. Kevin Harris, nothing there. Jayshawn Tate, nothing. Reed Shepard only had 2 assists, 2 shooting. J.D. Davison, no stats in 5 minutes of play. Then we have Steven Adams, Jeff Green. Those 2 did not play for the Rockets. And those are a look at your statistics for this game. It is now time for the post-game ticker, brought to you by 2K Sports. And these are the games that were played on Saturday, December 6, 2025. We start off in Brooklyn, where the Pelicans in overtime defeat the Nets 123-122. The Wizards upset the Hawks 121-112 in Washington, D.C. In Cleveland, the Cavaliers 115-110 winners over the Golden State Warriors. In the Motor City, the Pistons get their 10th win of the year, winning 132-128 over the Milwaukee Bucks. Though in real life, the Pistons are actually 10-2 on the season. So the real life Pistons are a lot better right now than in this season playthrough, but the Pistons are still hanging in there. The Sacramento Kings go to South Beach and they light the beam. They win 116-102 in what is going to be a long season for the Kings, both in this season playthrough as well as in real life. As, oh my gosh, Lord help me as a Kings fan with how things are going. The Timberwolves will get their 21st win of the season. They defeat the Clippers 111-96, and they are still a league best 21-2 on this season here in the season playthrough. And as I said, the Rockets get their 14th win of the season in a game that you watched. 99-92 the final score. As I said, the Mavericks were down by as many as 22 points, and they cut it to within 3 a couple times, but the Rockets were able to pull away at the end. Now for the games played on Sunday, December 7th, 2025. We head to Madison Square Garden, where the Knicks in overtime defeat the Magic 120-108. The Raptors 126-99 winners over the Celtics in Toronto. The Nuggets over the Hornets 139-116. Trailblazers upset the Grizzlies 121-117. The Bulls over the Warriors, 127-100 in Chi-Town. That means the Warriors have now lost back-to-back games, at least from this ticker. In the city of brotherly love, there was no brotherly love shown towards the Lakers as the Sixers defeat the Lakers 121-113. And the Thunder become the third team to reach 20 wins. They defeat the Jazz 124-116, sending the Jazz again to a league worst 2-21 on the season. That is your post-game ticker, as my buddy RJL Network would say. If your team won, congratulations. If not, there's always tomorrow. And now, since the games have been completed through December 7th, it's time to look at the injury updates. Tyrese Maxey for the Sixers still out 1 to 2 weeks. Nothing for the Bucks or the Bulls. The Cavaliers, look at that. Max Struss still day-to-day, but he still has that hurt designation. Jared Allen now out 4 to 6 months with a lower right leg stress fracture. Jason Tatum is still out 4 to 6 months. Jaylen Brown still out 4 to 6 weeks. Chris Paul still has another 1 to 2 weeks left before he comes back. Nothing for the Grizzlies. Hawks, let me see. Zachary Rissage. Rissage is still out for another 1 to 2 weeks. Terry Rozier still out with the indefinite suspension. And Tyler Hero is back on the injury list. Twisted right knee, out 1 to 2 weeks. Nothing for the Hornets or the Jazz. And Kings are now fully healthy again. Let me see. Gershon Yabusele still out 4 to 6 weeks. Shamit is still out 1 to 2 weeks. And Mitchell Robinson still day-to-day for the Knicks. And for the Lakers, Rui Hachimura now out 1 to 2 weeks with a sprained right knee. And Jackson Hayes day-to-day, I believe he got hurt. Jackson Hayes got hurt after the game against the... let's get back there, guys. Sorry about that, guys. That a little bit too fast for me. But Jackson Hayes did get hurt after the Toronto game, so I think that was another game after that. Orlando Magic. Jalen Suggs now out with a broken right leg, out 6 to 8 weeks, while you still got De Silva out and Wendell Carter out 1 to 2 weeks. Klay Thompson now out 2 to 4 weeks with a strained right hip. He still played in that game. So he is now on the injured list for a Mavericks team that has lost 14 of 18. That is not good for them because they're still missing Dante Exum as well as Derek Lively and Kyrie Irving. Michael Porter Jr. is now considered recovering with that pinched nerve in the back. He's day-to-day. Terrence Mann is also day-to-day with his injuries. Aaron Gordon now 1 to 2 weeks for the Denver Nuggets, while Peyton Watson still day-to-day. Tyrese Halliburton, we know his injury. Pelicans, nothing to report. We know about Jaden Ivey still being out, but now Jalen Duren now day-to-day with a sore right ankle. Raptors, no injuries to report. We know about Fred VanVleet's injury. De'Aaron Fox still out 4 to 6 weeks. Nothing for the Suns. Let me see. Isaiah Hartenstein still out 6 to 8 weeks with Cason Wallace still day-to-day with his injuries. Julius Randle still out 2 to 4 weeks with Dante DiVincenzo still out 2 to 4 weeks. Damian Lillard, of course, still out for the season. Shaedon Sharpe, though, day-to-day now. Looks like he could find himself back. Let me see. Stephen Curry still out 2 to 4 weeks with that strained right Achilles. And then we got Brandon Podziemski day-to-day with his bruised left hip. Cam Whitmore still out 6 to 8 weeks for the Wizards. And those are your injury reports for the games after December 7th, 2025. And before I sign off, just reminding you guys that our next game will feature two teams with losing records, and it's the only time both teams will be featured in schedule block number 2. And possibly could be the last time for these two teams. They could probably be on schedule block number 3, but I know going after the All-Star break, I know it's going to be a little bit difficult for me to schedule these teams in unless it's going to be for a spoiler or a clinching game for a team with a winning record or in playoff contention. But it is the Sacramento Kings at the Indiana Pacers. The Kings are 7-16. The Pacers are 10-13 on the season. And that will do it for the NBA 2K portion of this. If you enjoyed this content, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And don't forget to hit the bell icon to receive notifications when these videos do come out. As well as I'm still doing college football 26 content. As I said, I have weekly simulations, 3 games at least. And at the time this game came out, we're already in the middle of college football Saturday. And so I will not know the upcoming week 13 schedule yet until the rankings come out. And don't forget, every Wednesday up until Selection Sunday, so every Wednesday night we will have, or every Wednesday afternoon at noon Eastern will be my 2018 college football projection, and that is, I wake those after the college football rankings come out for college football playoffs on Tuesday night. So do keep an eye on that as well. And that will do it here. Reminding you the final score of today's game. The Houston Rockets were up by 22, but their lead was cut to 3, but they were able to pull away. They defeat the Dallas Mavericks 99-92. I am Vinny from VW Productions, and I am signing off.